Good evening, good afternoon, good day, everybody. Welcome to episode 15, year 492, part 2 of Pendragon, Age of Uther. I'm Eric, I'm your game master. Super excited to play this game. Sorry we couldn't play last week. That was on me, and just quarantine work, poor planning, things got out of control. That's on me. I'm sorry about that. But you're not here to hear me apologize. You're here to hear these two people suffer a terrible trial. And before we get into that, how are y'all doing? Tim.
I'm doing good, and yes, this will be a terrible trial. This is the exact kind of trial that Irwin is not set up to handle at all. So I'm looking forward to getting into it. I've been doing good, but glad we're playing again.
Oh, me too. Colin.
Hi. I also have feelings of unpreparedness for what's coming down the pipeline at Irwin and Gareth. Because we've gotten this sense that I don't know if it's going to be a kangaroo court per se, but it certainly doesn't seem fair already. And this is like the worst time for Gareth to have had a change of heart.
Yeah.
He would have thrived. The old Gareth would have thrived in this bullshit.
Yep. Isn't there's just a delicious sense of game irony, isn't there?
Yep. That's the stuff.
Happy about it. So
Yes.
Okay. All right. Anyways, we start each episode with a little quote, lyric, whip it, whatever. And I'm using some dialogue from a little old movie called Excalibur from 1981. What is the greatest quality of knighthood? No poetry, just a simple answer. All right, then. Truth. That's it. Truth. When a man lies, he murders some part of the world. You should know that. Yeah. I'll leave up who the characters are. Go watch the movie. Anyways, our knights are on the road to face judgment. They are being called to Uther and Tintagel. That is Tintagel, whatever. Sorry, my Brits and Welsh fans. Castle down in Cornwall. So they're heading down there. If you don't remember, a couple weeks ago, in addition to that, they recently fought the Duke of Cornwall. He died. They lost all chances of glory for that, as Uther's son claimed it all for himself, even though you saved his life. And that was a thing. And yeah, other than that, I think we're just going to pick up on the road. Oh yeah, why you were accused of crimes, right? I missed the big part of why I was doing this flashback in the first place. Sorry. You all are accused of crimes because apparently Merlin is a persona non grata here around here. Uther has declared him a traitor after there was another trial of two other Cornish knights. Apparently these knights helped Merlin, and by helping him, they basically got humiliated, and now because you all have recently had ties with Merlin, you're all being summoned here and questioned, and they think that you are part of this, like, Merlin's shadow government, of Shadow Logris, and effectively, and they want to root you out to see if you're dishonorable traitors or not. So you basically have to come here, swear. It's kind of, I mean, this is some Red Scare shit, right? You can think of it that way. This is the McCarthyism, this is very that sort of thing. Right? So that's sort of the idea here. You all had pretty cool answers at the feast about this, but you're all on the road now, and it's very real. Like, this is, this thing is coming to you. It's not like, I can deal with it later in a bravado, but the taste of Cornish mist is in the air as you travel past the lands of Salisbury, hailing the small petty lords along the way through Somerset, Devon, and then finally down into Cornwall proper. However, you haven't made it exactly to the castle yet. You're on the road. So this is just a nondescript kind of like part where we're breaking camp, or I should say actually it's kind of like the early kind of nightfall, and I want to start at this scene. So you guys are at this campsite. It's the shores of a small pond. It's like the size of maybe like it's not a full track and field like inside, but it's a small pond with a little stream kind of going off of it. It's a great place to camp, right? It's easy. A little bit of woods nearby, and the other side is like a clump of trees or whatever. And one of you can't sleep, whether it's anxieties or just the camping, or something back home. And I want to know which one is it of you two.
That's Gareth. Yeah, I don't think Gareth has been sleeping well since he got word of this, for reasons that I think are already clear.
Sure, right. Cool.
I think Erwin's intrigue is so low.
It could be both.
He's just like, yeah, we'll clear this right up.
Oh God, yeah.
You're sleeping like a baby.
I've got just right up, like just high enough intrigue to know we're fucked.
Yeah. So there's a so you're not like traveling through enemy lands. It's not like you're like worried about getting ambushed. So you have a small little fire going, right? It's also just for heat, but also you cooking and stuff as you're traveling. So can I get an awareness test from you, Gareth, as you're just kind of quietly looking at your reflection in the mirror, in the mirror pond? Success.
Oh, that's a yes, success.
Right. It's roll under. Price is Right
How?
style. That's brilliant here. So what you're gonna do is, in addition to the quiet sounds of the hooting of owls, something else crosses your ears, something you've never heard before, and it goes something like.
Gareth is gonna stand.
Your success does not indicate the direction of where it comes from. In fact, it sounds like it's coming from all around you.
Garrett's gonna stand, draw his sword, and use the sheath to like poke Erwin awake.
Mm-hmm.
Goat Hill, Erwin. Goat Hill.
Oh no. All right. Where from? Where are they?
I don't know. All around us, possibly. Or nowhere. These things perplex me.
We're unarmored, I'm assuming.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He'll take up his sword and shield then, because.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To back? Can we go back to back?
Let's do back to back.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
you two square off. There's a nice like camera shift 360 as you all square around looking out, and some time goes by and you don't hear any sounds of any intruders or so. And there's the point where it's probably okay to ask, like, what are we looking for again?
Yeah. What did you hear?
Woof, woof. But it sort of echoed.
Wolf?
Not a wolf.
Dogs, maybe?
No dog I've ever heard echoes like that.
Definitely echoed.
Definitely echoed.
It was like an echoey bark.
I'd like to walk to the edge of the firelight.
Sure.
And just sort of let my eyes adjust to, because I'm assuming we're in like a wooded area. Is it in the open?
No, you're kind of on a beach,
Okay.
a beach. When I say beach, I mean like just kind of or kind of dry, wet grassland right near this pond edge, right?
Okay, yeah.
No,
you mentioned a pond.
yeah, right. Kind of like a
Yeah.
clearing-y, not like a glade that you're in, but just it's off the side of the road. There's this pond over there, like you're like 50. Imagine like 200 meters between the road that you're on and the pond over there, and you're like, well, that's a great place to camp.
Sure. Fresh water, all that business.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah. He's gonna give his eyes time to adjust, and specifically like if there's moonlight, wants to try to
Right.
use that, see if there's something coming up on the horizon somewhere.
Yeah,
But,
totally.
Yeah, he'll keep an eye out. Like, I'm assuming if Gareth is warning him of something from the other side, then it must be like he knows the reality of these things, and so he wouldn't joke about it.
Okay. Yeah. There's no awareness test to be made for you. There's nothing to be heard.
Okay.
I could ask you to roll it as to play with along, but you're fine. Like
Yeah.
no, you do your best, and there's nothing to be hurt.
Who knows
Sure.
what it was?
So, I don't think both of y'all's energetics are 16, right? But I don't feel like I
Yeah.
have to ask for you to stay up. You can stay up if you want. It's your prerogative. With energetics that high.
Honestly, yeah.
But nothing seems to go on. You all stare alert.
I think
We could make some miles if we're going to not sleep.
I'd rather not try the road in the dark. We'll just set out a little early.
Hmm.
I think Erwin would like to snooze, right? Like prop his shield up, half recline, kind of.
Yeah.
But if
Totally.
if there's nothing and there's a couple hours left before daylight, then he's gonna try to get some rest.
Yeah. So like maybe it's been about like I imagine you all were pretty high alert for like at least 2 hours or so, and now it's
Yeah.
like beginning to slouch, right? You're like, okay.
Yeah.
And if you start to drift off.
I think Gareth is going to
couple hours before dawn
more
now.
awake, and in fact,
Sure.
he's going to keep his sword in front of him in its sheath as a makeshift crucifix, and he's going to pray.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah. Sword down. Like classic night
Ave
shit.
Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus.
There's a sound of a rushing towards your campsite a couple hours before dawn. It's coming from from the other side of the woods. As in fact, you hear the first thing you hear are birds leaving. Like as like a scurry. Something's moving through the woods very quickly.
Sheath poke.
And then you hear the sounds of the rhythmic galloping.
Yeah, let's get up.
Right. There's no denying that's the sound of a fast moving horse through the woods. I mean, like they're not like thin woods. They're not like thick with 7 Seas woods either. But like they're woods, and someone's running through them on a horse.
Sword.
Yeah.
I'm Gareth's gonna mount up.
Sure.
I fight better from horseback.
Yeah, I mean, if we've got the tack and saddle,
Yeah,
on,
you do.
That's okay.
As you all are checking your barding on your horses, I think you all your minds go back to a nightmare years ago about a green-colored, shimmering, slimy creature galloping towards you on a shore of a lake. And something humanoidy, similarly to this, is seen the other side of the lake coming at you, sword in hand.
Erwin, which of us chose this spot?
Can I ask both of you, as you're like getting ready, can you make another awareness test for me, please?
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
Right.
Cool. You're the one who should be up.
This dirty green, slimy knight comes charging at you, as it's like coming around the bend. And I think as of this awareness, there has to be some doubts in your head that this could even be real, right?
Yeah.
You're like, I am not dreaming. This is definitely not a dream. As this, like this thing seems in the weird twilight before dawn. This thing is realer than you ever imagined. You can smell, you have the sense of smell of the pond and everything around you. There's no like thin green line or anything indicating magical, but nevertheless, your heart is racing as you grip this sword and your shield on your horses here. But I feel like I need to ask for a valor test because this is real.
Yeah. All right. Valor, you say?
Unless you're 16, I think if you're valor, no, actually you should test it. This is a test because you're literally fighting something that you think is on other world.
God damn it!
Oof.
Right,
Gareth.
Horse test. I think you accidentally stir your horse and your horse freaks out. Right, so horsemanship now. for you.
Yeah.
You just fall off your horse, right?
I do one of those wheelie things.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you like wheeling
like
in a
steady.
circle, but like too fast.
The horse senses your fear, and it's like,
Of
okay.
course.
And you're like, no. and okay, so you steady it. And then that's the moment through like you're getting ready, you're charging it. So I presume then as you're getting ready the horse, what do you do, Erwin? Like that's the moment. Like, do you attack? Do you get ready to like go at it, or do you like ready yourself for defense to a counter when it charges you, or
I'm
what do you
not
do?
standing still. I will meet him. Like I don't want to be still while it's charging. While they're charging me.
You brush off. You go forward, ready.
Yeah.
And then cool. And then about 20 meters out, you hear a voice from, and he goes, whoa, knights, oh, steady, I come in peace. And like you nearly shit your pants because you think this is a monster.
Yeah.
And it's just a dirty ass knight.
Wait. All right. Name yourself. Who are you? Coming up.
Name yourselves. I am king.
You'll not. I've met the king. I've met Uther.
King Pellinor of Wales.
I'm
Who be ye?
Yes.
We're not. Erwin, we're not in Wales, are we? And
Cornwall.
Gareth's
You
like,
are referring to that Pendragon bastard. Well, I guess the Pendragon himself. I'm not sure if he's still alive, that fucking loser.
Sir, King,
Yes.
Your Grace, I am Sir Gareth of Winterbourne Gunnet, sworn.
Dispense with the formalities, great men.
Dispense with the... I nearly browned my trousers with you rushing up on us like that.
Yes.
Oh,
Why
I
did
was
you
gonna
rush up on us, and why are you here?
Did you hear anything? I've been tracking the greatest beast that's been known in this land.
Don't you have a
It's
kingdom?
called Galadacent.
What does it look like then?
Are you... Am I asleep? Erwin.
No.
Slap
I
me.
do not believe so. We cannot share dreams.
We've shared them before.
It has a leopard-like body. I've only seen it a few times. But you know it by the sound of its voice. It has a terrible howling bark. Nothing else like it. But it's so stealthy and quick. Has the hooves of a heart. Head of a snake.
Echoey.
Dragon. Yes, you've heard. Yes, yeah. He's like, yeah, my dude. he's like very excited. Tell me which way did it went.
Why do you quest after this beast?
Why? Because look, I will be because I'm going to catch the greatest beast. I am the greatest hunter.
You have... Don't you have a kingdom?
Sir.
Have a kingdom. Please. He dismisses you.
So you don't have a kingdom then?
Ruling that stuff is for arrogant and prideful men like Pendragon and that ilk. I am born of a different stock. I am a hunter. I'm not arrogant and prideful like them. I just need to capture this greatest beast that's ever lived.
I understand. Well, do not let me.
I'm not like
stand in
those
your way, Your
assholes.
Majesty.
Good. Well. Great men to it, knights. Great men. And he just runs off. like you're good. He literally just runs off on his horse. His horse is also like just as beady, but just a monstrous horse, like very beefy horse.
So it looks like he just ran through the woods like a bunch of brambles and everything, like dirty armor and okay.
Yep.
A howl.
You've actually met this guy before. Erwin.
Have we?
Yeah. He ran through your blackberry patch like a couple years ago.
This is the guy?
Yeah.
This is the Doulahan?
Yeah. No, that's not. Well, this could be the Doulahan.
It could be. Right.
But also this is was this Gareth?
It was me because I was having a dispute over. We were having a dispute over. Yeah, with Sir Fraid. Yeah. He had just moved in, and I had to set him straight on where the blackberry bushes were. They were on my side, by the way.
Yeah, they were.
And then yes, I remember. And then a fucking horse.
He doesn't remember you
it.
though. Because you're like in the middle of nowhere. Why would he make it's the same thing with you. Like, why would you make that connection?
He seems like Gareth is a little sort of stunned. It feels like he's been beaten around the head a little bit. It's like me in the morning, honestly.
Yeah, right. And so the last thing you hear is this great men to it, and just as he runs off.
Did he want us to? Did he want us to follow him?
I think he came from my blackberry bushes.
Blackberry bushes.
Well, Owen, if we are asleep, I look forward to waking up quite rested. On the off chance that we are not asleep, I could rather go for some sausages. And Gareth is going to get off his horse.
Yeah, there's nothing. You're back to just regular time.
Breakfast is in order.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, all right. This guy's
Yeah, I love King Pelennor.
King
Yeah.
Pelennor.
I should have described him a little better though. When he takes his, he has very nice, luxurious, like shorter length, curly black hair. That you actually see it after he takes off his sort of visor. I actually get a little bit of like Faramir with black hair.
Gotcha.
Like from the movie, like really like nice, like very attractive. Even though he's like dirty as all hell. His armor is literally green. It's growing moss.
Yeah.
Like he never like takes it off. Like he's just been running through everything after this night for years. Or excuse me, after this this beast. But yeah.
Drives a man to such madness.
Take 15 glory for hearing the Gladison. No. Hold on. Not both of you. Colin. You heard the cry. You heard the cry of the questing beast.
Questing beast. 15 glory. I'll take it.
Erwin, you should gain, I think, 15 glory, but not for that, for meeting King Pelennor, because Pelennor has a ton of glory.
Oh, cool.
The reason why I didn't ask you for recognize rolls is because you failed your awareness test to realize this isn't a monster.
Well, yeah, and that was back in the year 486. If I'm looking at that,
Yeah,
because I'm actually keeping the
longer
log.
than 5 years ago.
Yeah, that's for
the deep cut.
6 years ago. Yeah,
He's been writing for 6 years.
Yeah.
Good Lord. That was like one of the first things that happened after the Battle of Meerkerd Creek. I remember that now.
Yeah.
That was, because we came back, we got a bunch of stuff. Sir Fraid moved in. We were pissed off about that. And I think the argument with Sir Fraid occupied more of Gareth's attention than the knight that leapt out of his black bushes and ran off.
Yeah. Stranger Things, right? Cool.
Oh.
All right, time to go meet your makers.
Yeah, seriously.
You probably don't want to bring that up, what you saw or anything like that.
That's fine.
So the King of Wales.
It's probably not relevant to the defense. But apparently he hates him. He hates Uther.
Clearly.
He's Welsh. I don't know what the Welsh like about the British.
True. He particularly hates Madoc.
Good to know.
He's one of the few nobility of the realm that would openly say it.
Sure. I mean, he's the only other one I know of that has king in front of his name.
It's true.
Soon as he's like, I'm King Pelennor, I was like, okay, I guess you can talk shit about anyone.
Yeah, so you do know he has a kingdom. That's interesting. Yeah. History-wise, though, it's like you may not know that his land is run by a bunch of evil assholes right now while he's gone.
Gareth barely knows what's going on in Salisbury.
You could make some sort of recollection test if that's interesting to you for your character to know that. Otherwise, yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, makes sense. That's a weird, deep cut, scholarly lore. All right, cool. The closer you get to Uther's sort of like camp, right? So Tintagel is still. It's only been like a year since the siege, right? So like the place is still they cleaned it up somewhat, but you can see where the damage was, right? Like the battlefields the scars are still fresh as you arrive. However, the entourages of Uther's kin here they kind of treat you as outsiders. You are allowed to make camp with them, like the day outside of Tintagel as you get there. But you get last of the food. It's cold. Like they're not expecting you to give them a 5-star Yelp review in their hospitality, but they're giving you hospitality. This is what you would do when you had an asshole visit. Like they give you the old bread, They gave you the shit wine or shit water, right? Like stuff that they're required at the minimum to give you, but they don't really want anything to do with it. No one here is quietly rooting in Merlin's Shadow Council. Expect no support from these folks.
Yeah. Well, we were given the advice that we could seek the favor of the women who have Uther's ear.
Yeah.
That's the only piece of advice I recall.
I believe that's Garrett's advice.
Yeah, that probably was. I probably wrote it down just to remind myself. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Did Garrett share that with Erwin at all on the road here?
Share what?
The advice that you got about currying favor with the women who have Uther's ear.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Here's a question.
I wouldn't have couched it as here's the thing you should do. I would have just said, like, here's what my wife told me.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Right.
Let's do that.
I won't call for a role for this, but I could imagine a scenario, and this might be like also just like a safety thing as well. But like I saw something on Twitter the other day I thought was really interesting, and it could totally come into Pendragon. It's like when you call for history tests and things of lore stuff, if you fail, you bring your own assumptions with you.
Mm-hmm.
And so the question was that was kind of half formed in my brain was, would that be someone you would listen to for advice and think that's good counsel? Would his wife be good counsel in this situation? And would you think good of her? Not like she's a woman or anything, but just like as a steward, like that. Why are you getting like? I wouldn't trust that advice. That
as Lady Macbeth.
Yeah, but
right.
But then also I'm like, no, you definitely would. Like, she has the skill set, and you would take her. She, you know what I mean? Yeah, actually, yeah, she is the right person. So I stopped. But I think that's something to carry forward though as a consideration, right? And sometimes I'm not sure, it might be like a personality test of some kind, like one of your traits and stuff. But it's like, do I actually believe like? Would I put my own opinions front? Like, would I put my own prejudices ahead? Would be an interesting thing to play with. And I think if you were proactive about it, I could imagine I might give you some sort of experience or something about it.
Cool.
Anyways,
I'm trying to think of what like trait or something that would be tied to, if it anything at all.
Reckless, maybe prudent. Prudent
Yeah,
about
I can see prudent.
Seeing the advice in ways.
Yeah.
It's like stubborn. It's like being stubborn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know better. So anyways, let's get ready for the trial. Let's imagine you have sort of like a day to prepare. Let's imagine, so you will be staying in Tintagel Castle. So Brastius is there, obviously, with Uther. Prince Madoc's here. Bishop Dubricus is here, who is sort of a big name that should be written down. Dubricus is kind of like Uther's religious advisor. He's been kind of around the world. When you hear about news from the mainland, it's probably from this bishop telling like the information over. He's kind of a world traveler. And obviously, Queen Igraine is here as well, being the previous duchess and now queen. She, just like last year, even though they're married now, dresses in mourning black still. I think that was also another detailed point I should bring. So, you have some time this night. If there's any sort of like opportunities for intrigue, quiet time, stealing time together with people to like get some information, any sort of support, advice that you can muster, this would be sort of the time. If not, we'll just flash forward to the trial.
I think like probably as the day draws closer of us even getting to Tintagel, Erwin might have like, so how are we to deal with this then, Gareth? Or he might even just ask like, how are you going to deal with this? And it's still sort of like, it'll be fine for me, but
I am not proving my case as it relates to my relationship with Merlin. That may be the charge they bring before me, but in truth, the argument I must make is that I am not Gareth as they knew me. And what proof has a man that he is who he says he is? Except what he has done. So, perhaps that is where I argue, and perhaps that is where I cast my lot.
Yeah. Not to interrupt the role play, but it's just another vector that you could consider is, you could, if you wanted to try like a general intrigue test to get the sort of temperature of the political climate is possible too.
So the thing I wanted to do, Gareth wanted to take his wife's advice to heart, and he knows Igraine is going to be there, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Does Brastius have a wife? Is she going to be there?
No.
Okay, just like get an idea of if. So right now he's just kind of playing to Igraine, I think in that case I don't think.
Yeah, Brastius is. Yeah, sorry, just give you more context though. When I say no, it actually was a no, but. Brastius doesn't have a wife, but Brastius has a couple like concubine-y, like hanger-ons from Uther's entourage stuff.
Okay, right? So the kind of people who speak to his ear, and therefore the kind of people I should be directing.
Yeah, so there are people that you could just, but those are like Uther courtesans, you know.
I would like to know, see if I can get some of the down low on them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. No problem.
So I'll do some intrigue for that. All right, success.
That's a pass. Yeah. Cool. So the first one here is Rian. She's clearly from either Saxony or some lower parts of the continent. Rian is okay. Oh, interesting. She often is found singing, and extremely Christian, British Christian. Okay. She's not quite a nun. Interesting. You know that she likes to wear wigs. Like she changes her hair is a certain way with wigs. But no one talks about it. It's fine. And that's about it. You don't know much about her dispositions about the court. But that would be like, that's the person to talk to about Brastius. I assume that's what that role was for. I should discuss that.
Yes, that was
the intention.
What the role was for.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm not sure that Erwin has any specific plans. I think he might stick with Gareth for that day unless something crops up.
Sure.
Because this is all a bunch of stuff that he has no real basis for. Although he can talk to people.
Something does crop up for you. While I think there's a moment of separation because this is a private moment. This is when like Gareth is trying to eavesdrop on the right conversations, right, about who to talk to. Like a nobody little like servant girl of like 6 or so comes over with a little knitted like bonnet-y thing and says it like kind of like tugs on your tunic a little bit. And it's like, sir, this is for you, sir, and before like running off, like without even a chance to like kind of reply.
Yeah.
And if you remember, Igraine's daughter is like a super skilled knitter.
Yes, I recall that now. I don't remember her name. I don't know.
And it's actually your family crest.
Is it?
Yeah, it's blue with the like it's clear she dazzled it up even because your house is it's kind of plain. It's like she could flourish it, and so she did.
Interesting. Does she keep to her quarters much, or she found out and about around the castle, or?
Let me add something to this. Let me spice it up a bit. Upon like feeling it over though, you can feel that there is a piece of paper, like a papery in it, like underneath it. You don't have to like actually break the gift to get to it.
Okay. So you said, I'm sorry, you
a
said
message.
I would? Or...
Yes, clearly she gave you a message, right?
Okay,
No intrigue
okay.
roll required to be like, what the fuck
Yeah,
is this?
sure.
What the fuck is
Sure,
this?
sure.
You know what I mean? Like this is
What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. So you said I would have to cut it open, right? Or it's like I could just pull it out.
No, you'll be able to. You can just use like your thumb or whatever to like get it out of there, right? It's not. It was made to not really. Yeah, right. There's a little slot for it, less not breaking it.
I'll go somewhere private.
Yeah.
For that, once I realize there's something in it, somewhere.
Sure.
You know, I can't.
Yeah. So you leave Gareth to his own device. So Gareth's going to be looking for you while you're doing this.
Right? Yeah.
As Gareth comes back. Yeah. So you read it, and there's no like hi, like, oh, I'm so glad you're here, sorry about everything, like that. It's very succinct, it's very terse, it's very laconic, it's right to the point. It's literally like your orders, and it says, plead guilty to being enchanted. So admit that you were ensorcelled. Is what she says.
All right, I'll hang on to it. Sure. And as soon as I find
this is the most fucking like skull and daggery intrigue thing that's ever happened to you in your entire life.
Certainly. He might actually go immediately go
like,
looking for Gareth.
You're like at a window, right? Like doing this, like some like noble covert, like literally reading a hidden message in Uther's court right now, and you're like, I don't know how to feel about this. You know what I mean? Like you should be feeling a lot of complex emotions right now. And when Gareth finds you,
read it.
Yeah,
it takes him forever to read. And then I think like the overwhelming emotion is like he realizes the depth of trouble he's in. Like, why would she? And then like,
why wouldn't she talk?
Yeah, and okay, yeah. He's going to make a beeline for where he last saw her.
Cool. And then maybe the last bit of the calculus here is that it's like, well, you're probably thinking about how you feel about either lying about this, or were you like, is this actually like, wait a second, was I actually like, was I?
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know, like, it's up to you. But the point is, before you have a chance to like reply to that or whatever, Gareth finds you, like, kind of, I don't know, you can describe how you are as Gareth finds you.
First off, he is trying to make sure he read it right. My Manor one is not a particularly literate individual.
This sign can't stop me because I can't read.
So he's just, thinking about it over and over. Did he get the, and then when he finally runs into Gareth, I think he's just a bit like the intersection of confused and almost panicked, of like, oh God, what are we going to do? Kind of, and Gareth,
I'll say you find Gareth amidst a pile of books with a very tired looking, like, what do you call a priest to be? Like a younger scribe who's clearly been helping Gareth read up. What is it, Owen?
Let's find a quiet place. And as soon as he's confident that they're alone, he's going to produce the note. Igraine's daughter.
I'm still here.
Gave this.
I'm just kidding. He's gone.
And I don't know her name. Does she ever give me her name, or do we know it? Jim doesn't know it.
I wrote it down somewhere. And let me open. I don't have my embassy sheet open. You know the name. Say the name. Fine.
Yeah. Sent me this in a hidden gift, or hidden in a gift.
I believe I recall this daughter of Igraine's when I was recovering here.
There were 3.
Sharp, in the same way my wife is sharp, has a mind for these things, I think.
Yeah. I spoke with her briefly on a matter of love. Perhaps I made more of an impression than I thought. Should we trust it? The message.
Yes, absolutely.
And we lie?
I did not say that. We trust that this is the course that she thinks shall preserve us. But I put to you, Erwin, what does she think is being preserved? And further, what of yourself would you see preserved? Is it your manners, your arms and armor, your riches, your heart?
My life.
Take her advice. If it is your life, take her advice. No, there's no judgment here, Owen.
I believe it was the middle one, if I recall. Sorry, anyone who's binging this on YouTube, being like, "Of course it's Elaine." Like, what? Sorry.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna. That's some news, right? Like, this is, I think, maybe one of the few times that Erwin has had to face that contradiction of knighthood.
For the record, I think the note says probably one word in Latin, which would be like enchanting, like you were enchanted, to be enchanted, right? Whatever that would be.
Yeah.
Enchantum or whatever, right? Like,
I forget.
that's the point. The point is that like the communication is not like you got the wrong impression from it. That's not what I think is interesting in this scene. I think the interesting scene is that she wants you to plead to being ensorcelled as your way out of this.
Yeah, I trust it's from her.
Yeah,
and
you don't know though.
I mean, it's in the knitting. I think that's that's what makes Erwin trusted.
Yeah, exactly.
Trusted the message. I think he's gonna really ponder this because he wouldn't. I don't know that he wasn't expecting Gareth's answer, but it like weighs heavy on Erwin. Asking him, he's not particularly honest when I'm looking at his traits, but honesty is a knightly virtue,
right?
And so squaring this circle is gonna.
It's a really it's a really interesting thing. It's like, would you lie to end this trial? Or basically, and it doesn't really hurt anyone except like Merlin, but is that fine?
Yeah.
You know, Merlin's already in the bad realm of the king. Like, he's your scapegoat.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's a really interesting discussion. Not just as a knight and your virtues, but also like, would you do it? Or you face it, or you can. No, I'm not telling you not to face the court with your own suggestions. It's fine too.
We could do trial by combat or trial by ordeal.
You could do trial by ordeal.
Oh, this Brastius we'd have to fight.
Yeah, but Brastius is the better swordsman of you two.
Yeah,
assuming he would fight.
Yeah, but there could be an ordeal.
Sure.
Perhaps.
Yeah. I read over the notes again, and there is something else you would find out. I don't think it matters that much. It doesn't really pertain exactly, but apparently Elaine and her older sister, Margwace, have been betrothed to some of the most powerful kings in the realm. Apparently, King Lot, which you know only through reputation, and apparently his right-hand man.
Where is he king of?
Lot? I don't know. Sorry.
It's all right.
But that's a big medieval name. Or sorry, Melorian name. Lothian. Right. Thank you, Spoon. Lothian. Southern Scotland.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the very, very tip.
All right.
The king of the north, someone might say.
Sure. All the way up there, past the wall.
Thanks, Big Spoon. Good to see you.
All right. I think Erwin's gonna go have a sit down with this one, because I think it's like maybe the first time he's really realized the kind of thing. Like he thought he could just come up here and go, "I didn't do it," and that'd be enough. You know?
I'll let it ride initially. That you got a quiet spot, no one's spying on you, and you can talk it out. If something takes convincing, you might be convinced, but maybe a possible consequence is someone also heard you talk about this.
Gotcha.
If a role needs to come up, but maybe not. Right. Anyways, just so you know, stakes wise, you feel you're good enough that you do what you can. Right.
Yeah.
I feel like Gareth maybe picks the spot because that would make sense.
Right.
Yeah. Erwin's like, let's go talk in the courtyard. I'm like, yes.
Yes.
You open the door and there's like 9 other private conversations happening in that courtyard. You're like, oh yeah, shit. All right. That's where
you're telling
is.
me the stacks aren't a place to have a good conversation.
Gareth is going to say, Owen, I have not resolved whether or not I shall denounce Merlin. But I do know that I shall not let this moment pass without a chance for me to speak my full heart's word. I have been running up against my own reputation like a fish trying to swim upriver. And perhaps in this moment, as dire as those raids along the river we took with Maddock, the stakes perhaps no smaller. Perhaps this is my chance to set, not to right, but set to some kind of correctness who I am.
I see. Yeah. Who we are is our honor. Without it, there's very little left we have.
I have always believed in your honor, Erwin. Not because I can see it, but like some beacon, by your honor, I often see everything else.
I must confess, I am quite at odds with myself over what it is that we should do. It does not sit right with me that we should lie just to save our own lives. But over such a tiny matter, and clearly a misunderstanding of some sort.
Ah, sweet Erwin. If the stakes are this high, then it is not some small matter. We simply don't know the size of it. We are 2 knights from Salisbury, half a stone's throw from that shit-heap Camelot. Who are we to King Uther Pendragon? And yet, on the word of Brastias, we've been brought here. There is something else going on.
Must. We've not crossed Brastias.
No.
Well, I must admit this is a battlefield that I am not suited for. And
no man is suited for a battlefield, but we wear armor. Choose your armor, Erwin.
I will. And he's going to go, Erwin's going to go off by himself, I think, after this.
Yeah.
Garrett's
going to go back to the clerk, be like, I have some thoughts on the last thing you were helping me write.
All right. He's going to tuck the missive or the note away as well.
Absolutely.
I might burn it.
Not a bad idea. Do that?
I think once he gets to his quarters, he might burn it. I think he's always a little paranoid.
Oh, yeah. I like that it says burn after reading in Latin. Real intrigue shit. Okay.
There it is.
Yeah. Right. So do you have like a dictated like soliloquy scene for you, Erwin?
I have
Gareth?
I have written something.
Yeah.
So that's what I've got.
Okay. I expected. I'm so glad. Yeah, just what's the scene? You know,
so the 2 things. One is, what is the it's
quiet in the castle.
Kind of expecting it's not like an official charge, right? It's sort of just Brastias.
No, it's official.
Okay.
This is official. You're going through the court. Uther is presiding over it.
What is the official charge is my question. Right. We've heard kind of what it is, but what is the specific thing?
Specifically, help me out because I don't know legal, but you stand trial for being close to a traitor. Like you're
okay. Conspiracy. Conspiracy.
Conspiracy.
That's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, conspiracy in whatever we would call the Logris is law, whatever that is, right? So traitor, basically, or traitor friend or something, you know?
Yeah. Just guilt by association.
Yeah.
Gareth is going to show up in a white tunic, trying to mantle some virginal look there. and specifically one that can open up, because he's going to, when it comes time for his defense, the first things he's going to do is kind of open it up so you can see some of those horrible wounds he's suffered.
True.
Says, anything that's mended is but patched. Virtue that transgresses is but patched with sin, and sin that amends is but patched with virtue. If Sir Brastias lays at my feet that I am a man burdened with sins, I do not deny it, any more than a good Christian should deny the sin handed to them by Adam and Eve. If Brastias lays at my feet that I am a man who is patched, do not deny it. But if I am patched, let you look at me as patched with virtue, or else look at me not at all. If I am patched, do not decry me. Lend me needle, lend me thread, lend me virtue.
To be clear, we weren't in the trial yet. That's you practicing, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's what we're going to hear you say. You did.
Jump the gun. Damn it.
That's classic. I was talking about soliloquy moments before the trial. The night of, we just had some discussions, some fucking Hamlet shit. But that's fine. It's okay, Colin. Well, I'll somehow edit this video and put that in the right spot. All right. All right, it's okay. But no, we just have a quiet moments of just quiet shots of you all in contemplation, but we don't hear what they are. We all ready to proceed with the trial?
Yes.
Specifically, I'm saying we, not to call out Jim, even though it's two of us. Good?
No, it's all right.
You have a plan? Okay.
I don't have a plan. I think
we're just going to wing it. All right, cool.
We'll find something out about Erwin, I'm sure.
Yeah, so day of the trial, Uther comes in, flanked by Duke Ulfius, Duke of the Vales, the big boy himself. Prince Madoc is here as well. Super flamboyant, wearing the green and golds, red trims. Sir Brastias, of course, is here. Bishop Dubricus is here to preside as well. Then at the very on the left of Uther is Queen Uraine, again in sort of very formal black mourning dress. And the first thing Uther calls on in sort of these proceedings is Sir Brastias to formally issue the charges to you two. You two have been here. This is sort of you all have been in the courtroom, so to speak, of the hall, waiting for the basically the people proceeding the trial, waiting for Uther himself, right, to come into the court and start it, right? So you kind of already been here. You're not in chains, right? You're not in irons. You're here on your own volition, obviously unarmed and etc. But you can wear what you want as you conduct, right? Because there is sort of hospitality, things like that. You're not a wanted murderer or anything like that, right? So they bid you minimum respect and courtesy. Again, right? So Brastias begins after Uther calls the trial. Uther's a little bit surprised. No intrigue required to see both of you, especially Erwin. He didn't realize the name was you, right? He didn't make that connection exactly. That
Probably
might
a couple of Erwins in low grades.
Yeah, so maybe that could be a wheel. You're is that a shot? Could I try that, or should I stick to or either of you can see that? Yeah. So Sir Brastias gets called forward and kind of stands in front of the table, addressing the crowd, which is kind of maybe imagine sort of a high table for a feast, I guess, is only it's set for proceedings like this, and he sort of stands in front, kneels to the king, right, and then kind of steps to the side and gives his speech to the table and the court writ large, recalling an event that happened several months ago. While on guard duty, two Cornish knights, Sir Gregor of Grick and Sir Cadlo of Luxlian, harassed and fettered my pursuit of the traitorous Merlin, who left in the middle of the night with Uther's child.
There's the bigger picture.
Yeah.
There it is.
These two knights brought before you Uther, stand trial of being close with the traitor and therefore equally culpable. As he like looks out to the crowd, or like some nods, or like a lot of people don't really care. I accuse you of serving, pointing to both of you, of serving the devil and worshiping him over your own king. Basically, that's Merlin's the devil.
All right.
You're like, oh, that's the rhetoric we're going with.
That's the
Okay.
rhetoric.
You know, like that's
Yep.
the point. You're like, okay. That's where we're going. But yeah, right. So classic, like literally witch trial.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah. So there's a moment where some clerks come in and they present the actual like bylaws of like why this happens, the legal stuff reciting, and we just press fast forward on the VHS as it goes. Then we get to the part where you're like, Uther's like, okay, I've heard enough. I would like to hear from the knights themselves. Right. That's the part where he doesn't. Yeah, he would call you up. Who has the higher glory? I presume it's Erwin. Erwin has to answer first, right?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Erwin's got the higher
Yeah.
glory. Finally, an advantage.
In a
lower
In a
glory.
formalized
Yeah.
court, the person with the higher glory goes first, right? I
Yeah.
guess. Like I'm guessing it's Uther's
sense.
prerogative, and he doesn't really care, so I'm
Yeah.
just gonna let you go first.
Does he ask me a specific question, or just explain myself?
Yeah, explain yourself. You know, it's like, oh, so Erwin, yeah, and he checks his notes. Sir Gareth, you know, not for Erwin. You know, you are knights of Salisbury, valorous veterans of several battles. Please explain what is going on in your own words and in your own hearts. Now, speak truth.
Yes. Your Majesty, it is true that I have in the past been associated with the warlock Merlin.
Oh,
In my youth, newly knighted, he came upon me, as well as Gareth, and I could not say honestly that what happened next was a dream or reality. But he had us join him on a quest of some sort.
Yes, we've heard the story.
Yes.
Someone else
Since
says.
then, I have not seen Merlin. He has not come to me at all. And as anyone who can attest, as I have been a staunch supporter of the king and of the duke, as well as the church. And I cannot imagine a world in which I would betray you, my king. I have fought for you all these years. I have bled for you, and I believe in your cause. Whatever role Merlin had in this absconding with your child, I had nothing to do with it. My contact with Merlin ended years ago. It is a regretful, youthful indiscretion.
See, and he looks to the bishop. The bishop like gives him. This is an intrigue roll because it's just this is significant NPC glances at each other.
Sure. Is there a
If you want to, I'm sorry. If you want to. Oh yeah. Thank you for asking. Yeah, you get the wrong feeling.
Get the wrong feeling. I think that he's just going to keep Uther's gaze as long as possible.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
he's not,
Is your own fears worse than a die roll? That's kind of
Right,
the question. But yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He chews on it. He doesn't hate it. He definitely doesn't hate it. You're not sure though if it's enough.
Sure.
He looks to the bishop again, and it's like, Bishop Dubricus, in many of your travels, you've in all of your worldly expeditions, would say you about this servant of the devil? And is this true? Is this man all right? Pointing to you, right? Like is he going to be okay? Is he in Sorcerer now? Kind of like stuff, right? Apparently, the bishop is the expert at witchcraft,
As is
but
right.
as it right. This is not don't picture Van Helsing. Picture something a little more like Ratzinger, like you know. um, in my many years, no Christian, nor British, nor Roman, nor Aryan honors son of the devil. And Uther's like, all right, thank you. Even though it's kind of cryptic. But this sounds favorable.
Sounded
hate
good.
It. Sounds kind of good. Sounds good. You're like, okay, I might have to do some church shit, but okay. Like that's
I'm expecting there's some kind of penance.
Penance. Right.
Proof of
sorry,
the
penance,
contrition.
not church shit. Sorry. My bad. That's what it's called. Contritions.
Right.
Those are the words. Yeah, but you're like, oh, I mean, you obviously have the fucking gaze of steel here, but you're in your back of your mind. You're like, okay.
I mean,
I don't think I'm dying.
I
I don't think I'm losing my
it could be
knighthood.
a lot worse.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I'm not losing my knighthood, not having to. Okay. Yeah, and then thank you very much. Now, yeah, you have to step down from sort of like the podium, or whatever they ask, and obviously coming up here is the nice, clean white shirt.
Yep. And probably went out to one of the gardens and got one of the sunflowers there, because that was the nickname that Gareth had for Igraine when he was kind of blessing, remember? And he's not going to say it because then it might piss off Uther again, but hopefully just seeing like the sunflower tucked in the shirt might endear him to Igraine a little bit.
Yeah.
I actually want to roll honor here as a passion. I know you haven't called for any checks, but something occurred to me about how Gareth might also handle this that I think depends on whether or not he's sort of inspired by his honor or not.
I think I need to know. I think you need to like show us under the hood a little bit of what you mean, why, because I'm inclined to say no, because everyone's kind of acting like this right now.
That's fair.
But if you're doing this at your own detriment, then like explain.
Yeah. So the linchpin of Gareth's argument is that, hey, I'm a work in progress, but I am metaphorically sin patched with virtue. And if that's the case, all I need is to keep patching. And he wants to tie that to the wounds he's suffered on behalf of the king as like, also, I'm literally patched. The question is whether he perceives that sort of the high argument as worth it. Because if the truth is he's kind of willing to do like trial by ordeal. Just give me a hot iron. If you doubt my loyalty, I'll hold a piece of hot iron until you don't doubt me. But that requires him kind of giving up on the idea that this higher argument could even work on the king.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I think that would probably be, use your honor, roll your honor here for the passion, and then I think maybe an orate roll as the test.
That's good. I actually need the orate. Oh wow, I mean,
you're addressing a court, right?
I'm addressing a court.
You're not. This is not a.
Yeah, this is not a casual thing.
Okay.
Let's pass. So
5%
I get
chance.
The bonus.
Okay. Good.
All right.
I don't know what I would have done if you rolled a 20. By the way, I was just really hoping you didn't, as a GM.
Just yeet myself out the window. Maybe. Heading back to the Fae place. Okay, so I get 5 bonus on my orate.
No, it's a 10.
Ooh, good. Well, it didn't seem to go through anyway, so.
You had a 17 out of 18? No, your original skill was 13, so you failed.
Yeah, I failed.
Okay. All right, so we heard your speech.
Yeah. And so I think that means, like, as he gets the speech, he's like, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it.
Well,
And
I think hold on. I love you, and I love that you're willing to jump on this sword here, but I don't think you failed as an orator. I think there's just another cost here.
Okay.
And that is that you didn't answer the question about Merlin.
That was by design, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Gareth was trying to sidestep
And
the actual question.
Igraine needs that answer from you in a way. And I don't think she'll like call it out that way, but I think she does mention that like Merlin in some sort of way during your speech at a gentle pause and stuff, you hear like, he took my boy. You know, like this is personal to her about Merlin in general. And so, and you realize that like, oh, if I don't address the Merlin thing, this isn't going to work. Right. And because that's what all she cares about is the thing that you're dodging from. So you have to go. So your failure here is that you have to make the choice now.
Yep. All right. The Merlin I met those years ago with Erwin asked from us what service any knight of Salisbury, Silchester, Lowgrace might offer. I can say to you, in all honesty, I do not recognize what man might have taken your child. If that be Merlin, then the man I knew was false, glamoured. And if the man I met was the true Merlin, then it was not Merlin who took your child. Let God look and say which is the real Merlin. But I stand before you baffled as the next.
There's moments of deliberations, and you have a chance to talk to Gareth and Erwin between each other. You have a moment as they discuss themselves privately before Uther will address the court.
It's not too late to just throw myself into the moat, is it?
Let us see this through at least before you throw it all away.
At the very least, I think Elaine will have quite a time managing my estate when I'm dead.
And that is looking on the bright side of things, isn't it?
Yes. The other is that she tells me about my estate as I rot away in prison.
He stole the king's son.
Why would he steal any child, much less the king's son?
No.
The courtroom is interrupted. It's not Uther that calls session again, but it's Prince Madoc. And Prince Madoc quiets the court, interrupts everybody, and kneels in front of his father. Says, "Father, long I have served you, and long may you reign. And I believe your wife's case to be true, and Merlin has abducted with your son. And I swear here to you, to God, to Logris." Like, look around everybody. He's making a big show of this, co-opting this thing to show with his stuff of it.
Even our trial can't be about us, huh?
No, he's making it about him. I swear to recover my brother.
The old Gareth just put up a warning bell and knew.
Yeah, you should. You definitely should. You definitely. This dude just. Nope. You should know that this is a succession problem. An older bastard brother and a legit heir who's younger is going to be a problem. Capital
Infant.
P.
Yeah.
An infant. Yeah. All right. You don't need to play Crusader Kings and know how this is gonna go. So,
Oh no.
Yeah. Right. So you don't obviously like. I'm not gonna like sensitivity wise. Don't worry. Like there's not gonna be violence against the kid. But
Sure.
just so you know, like this is what he's doing.
Fucking hate Madoc.
Yeah, he's an asshole. You should have. You're like, I should have fucking let him die. Should have fucking let him die.
I think
Fucking let
Gareth
him
just
die.
looks at Erwin. It's like
I just forgot we could have
somewhere
killed
in some remote like Isle of Man, like waves crashing, Merlin's looking over in a crystal ball, being like, let him die. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Gareth is gonna be like, Erwin, are we the baddies?
Merlin hasn't called upon us in years.
Nobody doubts Madoc's virtue.
Except us.
Yeah.
I think Bellinor would, but yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Oh.
I think that whatever they're getting involved in, whatever's happened here, if Erwin gets an out, he's out. Like,
Yep.
yeah. I'll let Madoc
right.
or Madoc take the show, take the attention off us.
Well, there's a not like a gavel, but there is a symbolic gavel as court comes back in session after this surprise oath. Uther stands before everyone ready for judgment. He's not wearing Excalibur anymore. It's a symbol.
Good thing I didn't mention it.
Then may justice reign. I, Uther, King of Logris, find these two knights innocent.
Ugh.
You two like nearly puke. Like,
Player nearly puked.
you two are hereby ordered to visit upon the bishop and submit to purification and blessings to rid you of whatever power Merlin holds over you.
Really bad time to
There's like the video game like telltale sign thing that says
Yeah.
you two are forever known as the knights who sealed Merlin's fate.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure.
So that's like an achievement, I guess.
Yeah.
I
We
hate
crossed
it.
a wizard.
You don't know what I mean, you're gonna be doing a lot of praying.
Yeah.
It's gonna suck. maybe not for you, Gareth. No, it's enough praying to make even fucking Gareth hate it. Like, you know what I mean? Like this is gonna be a gratuitous amount of bullshit, of just drudgery, praying, submissions, contritions, confessions, constantly. But that's what you're gonna have to do. That's the deal. The next like few weeks minimum. But we don't have to role play that out.
Mhm.
But that is what happens. And
The rest of the
I think-
session. Yeah.
well, I think right. Well, I think there is some important things that happen that should be taken away from this, right? I'm not saying you need to like substantively change your stats or anything about your beliefs, but like, I mean, if anything's gonna like, this is basically spiritual torture if you're a pagan, right?
Yeah.
And I want to know if this has any formative effects on you, and if there's, is this like a deed of worms, like recant kind of thing? Then maybe, maybe then we should have that sort of like drama rather than glossing over this entirely, because this is a serious thing, right?
The one thing that sticks out for Gareth is this didn't feel like justice,
No,
right? That what
Definitely
we
shouldn't.
functionally had
it'd feel fucked up and weird.
Yeah, what we functionally had was Uther just strong-armed two knights from Podunk Salisbury into there. We were charged, but all he wanted was for us to testify against Merlin in absentia.
Yeah,
Right? That's
exactly.
what he really wanted.
That's
He
really-
wanted,
That's
it's
what he
exact.
wants,
That's bullshit, and that is Gareth. Gareth is going to lose his fucking mind over this,
Yeah.
right?
It
And
goes
'cause
way
he
over
nailed
my
it.
head.
Welcome
He
to
tried to make,
fucking-
and that was
Yeah, you got it.
Gareth's wrong. That's what Gareth did wrong. He made an argument about himself,
Yep.
and he forgot this trial was never about Gareth and Erwin. So anyway, I would like to test or
Use this.
check
Yeah,
justice or something, because like Gareth knows this is bullshit and
this is
maybe is
unjust.
rethinking how he's
Yeah,
treated
absolutely.
some of.
That insight, you getting it, you making me bow. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. Check justice. Don't even test. That's awesome. It's great insight. Um,
I think for
Spoon.
Irwin, spiritual might be appropriate because he hasn't, like, he restored the pagan shrine. He kind of he questioned what it was that he was fighting for, but like since the night that he traveled to some world, like some nightmare place, and dealt with all that in the Druid's Grove, he he might be welcoming a cleansing at this
Yeah,
point. Like his last encounter with this was horrific.
it's true.
And so yeah, he's I think he might be taking this very seriously.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
also the matter of
Your
later
wife.
grade. Yeah. I was gonna say
Yeah,
the other is that he is not gonna come home with a spot on him.
yeah.
As if he has this say of it.
Mhm. He got married in the cathedral. She kind of laughs off the sort of pagan folksy stuff, you know. Just not her. Obviously, she's very Christian.
Mhm.
But she's not going to be like intolerantly, but kind of intolerant.
Sure. I mean, this is
But
much
yeah,
for
right.
the
So like you're like,
peasants,
yeah,
the
this is
small
right.
people.
Like I am kind of switching my faith again.
Yeah, I mean, I think that
I love it.
he's
I
yeah,
love it.
he had a flirt.
You're back
With
to
the
the
other
flood
side.
god. All right. He's waiting in his fucking ark, being like, "About time you come back to
It's
me,
about
buddy.
time."
About time."
Mhm. Prodigal son.
So, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
right.
he takes the whatever
Oh, God.
penance
Yeah.
quite seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's very interesting. Which I think I didn't want to gloss over it actually. I don't think there's any test. If you want to feel like you want to resist it, then like we could do that, you know. But otherwise, yeah, I think that's mark spiritual. Colin,
Mhm.
you mark just to this whole thing as you realize exactly what it was. You also mentioned in chat perfectly, yeah. This whole trial is about Merlin. Igraine makes it about her boy, of course. And like it's just yeah, it's a giant hot mess.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it was
Spoon.
very telling, right? That this trial, your grain was like, he took my boy, and Uther's like, yes, he wronged me. It's like, okay, Uther, you're kind of a dick. Yeah,
That's yeah.
faith is eroding up there.
Yeah. Does this actually have a mechanical effect to Uther with you? You doubt him now? Like, are you suspicious? Just a little bit. Like anything.
Yes.
You don't lose honor over him. You're not gonna lose loyalty over him. Well, no, actually, I don't know. Do you? No, because I don't want you to do that to him per se. Because
the passion
Earl you believe
loyalty
in.
Lord. The question is that a passion
That's the
that
Earl.
is specific to to Earl? Okay. Here's how I see it. Gareth, again, that fundamental moment was realizing what the Lord of the feast,
Yeah,
in those Fey woods, what he was doing, and that being kind of metaphorically what a knightly leader does. And so Gareth, it hasn't lost faith in like kings. He's lost faith that Uther is acting like a good king. We just saw a shitty king riding through the forest, and somehow Uther doesn't look much better than that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
And
fucked.
I think the other big takeaway, I don't think you realize it, maybe per se, but as players you should know, is that Merlin feels the same way as you.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly, in some ways, he's like the absence of Excalibur.
Yeah.
I'm seriously glad I didn't mention. For a hot second, I was about to mention it.
I would have mentioned he didn't have it. I would have stopped you. Hold on real quick. I didn't mention it.
Do you think
doesn't have
do you
it.
think
I don't
Merlin
that's the way
took
to go.
that too? Because if Merlin's got doubts
No.
about, okay,
No, fucking that's a great ass sword. Uther keeps that in a giant treasure pile somewhere.
that's
right?
probably
Like-
snuggles that at night.
Yeah, like he's not gonna throw away something like that.
Yeah.
But he also doesn't present it out in the same way. And that
Gotcha.
that Uther Uther's flawed.
Yeah.
In a way that like systemically was kind of blind to you until you actually had to like face something direct. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you should feel a little bit especially Gareth, Erwin Alwal too, is that yeah, like you've lost some sense in this process of this is the one who was supposed to heal the land into one,
This
and
was our guy.
he's really this guy. You're like, I mean, okay, he's still pretty good. He's still got that great grizzly gravelly voice and the epic fucking manly beard, but it's just it doesn't. He's flawed. He's not perfect, and you realize it. And the first, like, he's great on the battlefield, he's great everywhere, but now, like, when it comes to ruling, he's actually not great.
Explains why he hasn't been able to get the
electors.
The electors, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've seen how he dealt with Gorlois, which was
sword. Yeah, like that's all he can do. That's all he can do. But
this is gonna haunt Gareth. This moment, I think, is really gonna haunt him.
And this is the part is that Merlin feels literally the exact same way as you.
And we denounce
Merlin.
His fate.
Yep. Merlin. That's the bitter pill. Is that you're the ones who denounce this person, and truthfully, you two have the most in common in this moment. Is that you both let your own biases get in the way here for a minute.
How do I mechanically represent shame? Is that is that a trait? Is it a directed skill? What's going on there?
Big Spoon asks if Excalibur not being there, if Uther can still draw it. I don't know, but I don't. Yeah. There's probably a reason why he didn't bring it out. So because he had problems drawing it out before.
Right. Fuck.
So
does Gareth share any of this with Erwin on whenever they return home?
Not until we've left the castle. I think
certainly.
Those like intimate moments on the road are really where Gareth feels comfortable talking to Erwin.
Yeah.
Because I think they really evoke that first bond we had as young squires chasing after a fucking pig in the woods. And I think Gareth always holds on to that. Like that is, as far as he's concerned, that's our space, is here on the road, just the two of us, talking as openly and honestly as we can, because so much of the rest of our life, we don't get to do that.
Certainly not. Yeah. Not after today. Certainly. Not after the trial.
Less so after today.
Definitely a turning point for Erwin, I think. Whether he knows the significance of anything, there's just something I think that feels off about it. I don't think he gets the intricacies that Gareth does.
Yeah, but you feel it in your own way. Okay.
I think Gareth is going to, when talking with Erwin, is really going to stress this kind of metaphor he's been struggling with, where the Lord of the Feast is responsible in many ways for feeding everyone else, right? So when the Lord doesn't do that, everyone else below him is going to starve. And he brings this up specifically because of the Earl. We have not really had a chance to dive in whether or not he killed his fucking wife.
Yeah.
And true. Like, is this sickness? Eric said, King Uther is not a great guy. True. He's very human, very kind of wrong. But when everything descends from you, what other sickness is there in the kingdom? And Gareth is gonna very openly with Erwin be like, I think that Earl might have killed his wife.
So, are you?
Feel it.
Oh, he's like literally speechless. Yeah. How did you? Why?
She was not producing an heir.
Could have divorced her.
Could he? He's the Earl of Salisbury.
That is disturbing.
It is.
Do you have proof?
I have no proof. I have no proof. I have less a suspicion. I simply see the peevishness of Uther, and I wonder what darkness lurks in the heart of our own liege. I must know. I have faith in him because he is our liege, but I must know, Erwin, one way or the other, whether he has done this thing that I've heard.
Surely not. The Earl would never stoop to something so low.
After today, can you close your eyes to the possibility?
Ooh, Erwin doesn't want to answer that.
Yeah,
Not,
fucking answer
not with
that.
an 18 loyalty to the Earl.
Yeah, you're like,
Oh
ah.
yeah, I know my loyalty
Do
is
you-
lower than that.
Do you feel insult? Yeah, like, is this actually like? Is this a defense?
I think Erwin's eventually is going to make it about them. Like if this is
It's 13.
if the king is the source of some sort of decay within the kingdom, within Logris, then what does that say about us? If we are eating his meager offerings, spoiled as they are.
What
Are we
that
not,
says about us, Erwin. That discomfort in your voice, that's what it says.
What are we to do then, Gareth? To give up everything we have? To die?
That I don't know. That, my friend, is where dauntless Gareth has been daunted. I don't know. If the Earl has killed his wife, what could we even do? But does not the Christian virtue ask us for some justice? I don't know. I bring this to you to alleviate some of my own shame, I suppose.
It seems to me that the only people that we can trust are each other.
And Merlin.
We swore a vow to each other, did we not?
We did.
And Erwin's going to draw his sword, hold it out blade. Here, should I? Maybe like, and on this road, in this wild place, I renew my vows to you, Gareth. My oath of loyalty and friendship. Whatever else comes, we cannot deny the ordeals and trials we have been through together. And that is what I will build my faith in this world on.
And Erwin, for once, I am working quite actively to be worth this vow that we take. And he's going to grasp the sword. Let the fortunes of Winterborn gun it, and Chalderton rise and fall together.
Together.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. That's fucking metal as shit. I don't want to end on that scene though, because I do have something to keep going. Although that's fucking real good shit. Y'all's loyalty should go up by one. Just for sure. I don't care. Damn the rules. Like that's dope as fuck. You know? Yeah, you just went through a trial together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to look it up while you guys were talking because I remember the part where this whole ordeal was foreshadowed back in, I don't even know what episode this was, but the when Uther wanted the sword. And Merlin was like, promise me, if I'm giving you a sword to conquer the realm, conquer yourself. Can you do that? And you rule. And he's like, fuck yeah, I can. Give me that sword so I can win. And he didn't. He lied. That's the part. It's the beginning.
Mm-mm-mm.
It's a slow burning game, but fuck, it's good.
Slow burn. Ooh.
Oh, I love
All right.
it.
Speaking of chickens coming home to roost, you guys are still on the road back. You've reached you're past the far travel roads back to more the familiar roads of Salisbury. You're on a patrol route. You've been out here before. Out in like, I don't know, like some part of the greater Silchester or on that side. It doesn't matter. I don't have the map open. But you know, you're like home is just around the bend, right? When a panting, scraggling peasant man comes barreling out into the road to you all to wave you down, exasperated, out of breath. His dark mocha skin and gray hair should kind of sets off a couple light bulbs if they existed in the 10th century. This is Ferumbus.
Ferumbus.
Nice.
Yes. We haven't seen him since.
My lords, he seems a little wounded. You can see he's emaciated. He's been a prisoner. Like you've seen a prisoner before. You know that this is a prisoner who ran.
Mm-hmm.
Madoc and his foes they're fighting. Sorry. You're right. That was bad of me. Madoc and Siagris over some child. They fought and they fought at the camp and there was so much fighting I ran away. I don't know who won, but I'm here. He's like exhausted.
492 is a hell of a year.
Yeah.
Let's go. Siagrius, fuck.
So
Yeah.
Siagris is back,
Yes.
and apparently Siagris has Uther's boy.
So he does.
Madoc is fighting them,
Okay, yeah.
and that's going to be the conflicts for
Yeah.
493.
That's
We don't have time to do the winner tonight,
Yeah.
so we'll probably have to start that next session, and while we're all excited to go to 493, but yeah, that's what's happening.
oh, so this
So
wasn't.
those Cornish knights are dead. Those,
Mm-mm-mm.
the ones escorting the king, the boy, they were killed. Siagrius has them. Madoc wants them, and Siagrius has a bone to pick with Madoc. So that's how that's gonna go.
I've got a bone.
You come back to the boat in
Yeah.
about the 1 month or one city, and you're like, oh yeah, they probably have some words. And
Sure.
as you help Ferumbus.
Is this the first time we've seen him since Uther?
Yeah. He's been
literally.
he's been in prison for like 8 months.
By who?
Siagrius.
For what reason? Gareth is feeling very out of sorts
Yeah,
right now.
you need to figure out what the fuck Siagrius is up to. Well, he's all
Going
well,
on, yeah.
you didn't know Siagrius is here. Well, here's something
Yeah.
you should know. Siagrius hasn't announced himself in courts. He hasn't
Right.
done anything. He's not here formally. He's here to
Isn't
do business.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? He got his ass kicked on the continent.
Oh right, we
Mhm.
did.
You thought
know
he was
about that
dead.
part.
Yeah, he was
I
dead.
thought that dude. He was so cool.
Yeah,
Gareth loved him. We
He's
drank
here.
together. They had the coin thing.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
he's here.
And now he's
And you have the coin. You do have the coin. I
know.
know. I can't wait to see how you use it. I'm so excited for
Yeah.
493. Yeah, he's turned
Oh,
bad.
God.
He's turned bad. He wants revenge. He's Shadow Siagrius from the Dark Realms.
Come on.
Yeah, welcome to
Wow.
the game. All right, so that's it. I think we should end it on that note today.
All
'cause
right,
we got,
that's
we
a
got,
good note.
we
Yeah.
got a lot of stuff to go over in the future.
You know what happened was we had the vow with each other, and then credits rolled, and then the credits were like interrupted with the stinger.
Oh,
Boom.
Is that Ferumbus?
oh, this is my favorite episode we've had so far, and that's saying
Oh my
something.
God.
This is some
Oh
shit.
my God.
Well, hey, the good news is Ferumbus did fulfill his vow to find me.
Hey.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But I think it's a weak hit, right, Colin?
That's right.
All right. So yeah, that's what we'll call it today. I'm Eric. I'm your game master on this saga. I'm super excited about this, but I'll talk about it later. Colin.
Hi, I'm Colin Vulcanet. I am one half of the Phantom Roll Booth. We do RPG stuff and RPG adjacent stuff. Me and my partner Kai. I'm gonna plug the Wine Sea Sagas. This is a little gaming community I'm putting together built around the RPG Iron Swarm by Sean Tompkins. Free, it's amazing, check it out. But I am setting up an alternate setting for that based on the ancient Mediterranean. So if you want like long feud hoplites and dope ass Mediterranean shit, the like North Africa, Carthage area, that's gonna be really cool. We're just starting to build lore around that. I'm gonna dump a link in chat. Check it out. Say hi or just don't troll us, I guess.
Yeah, thank you, Jim.
Oh yes, here I am. I am Jim Davis of WebDM, and we're just doing about the same as we've always been. Like I think I mentioned last time, big projects coming up towards the beginning of the summer, but right now it's all hush hush. I think for me, this episode it's a turning point, right? Like it's this,
Yeah.
it's the veil of whatever vestige of chivalry they're trying to nurture is like gone. This is just raw, naked power politics.
This is the times.
Yeah,
This is the times.
Yeah.
Because chivalry doesn't exist yet.
not
But-
really, no.
But our characters have a sense of what chivalry should be, and we are being so disappointed by the world.
Yes,
Yeah,
I know.
There's ozone in the air, and neither of us knows what the storm is going to look like.
What are you gonna
definitely.
tell? I can't wait till when you have Cord and Sarum and you're talking to your boy. What are you gonna say now? When he's
Yeah.
excited as shit.
Mhm.
He's ready to go. I think it's
He's still running around with a sword going, but now he can parry too. Like, you know what I mean? And what are you going to say to him when he's like, I'm so excited to be a knight. It's the best thing in the world. I can't wait to give you glory and everything. And the fucking Earl, oh my God, it's so much fun. And then you're to be like, that's nice.
great.
So great. That's so good.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. I
Yep.
mean, I don't know. There's so many questions I have. So I hope
Good.
we get to them and play. But I absolutely love.
You should tell me them what they are so I do get
That's
to them and
true.
play. Why do you have to
You're
hide
right.
this shit?
As
Don't you,
the
just
DM,
because you
as a
didn't have,
force.
just because you had one terrible time with the Easter and the pandemic, you missed one DM advice episode. You give a DM advice. Tell me, tell me privately or whatever, and let me know, and
Sure.
we can set them up for you for sure.
Yeah.
Right?
No, you're right. I think. I'm still. It's all in my head.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I have anything else to say. Nothing to plug. We're here. Come watch the videos. We're doing stuff. Have fun playing role-playing games.
Absolutely.
Stay safe. All that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, there's me. I wanted Colin to plug the YNC sagas. I'm a player in it. I'm doing the saga of Pascal, and you can watch me roll absolutely terrible. So that's my life right now. It's really bad. The other news is that I'm still playing this board game called Here I Stand. Colin's in one of those games. He tweets around Vodka Pope. If you follow the Vodka Popes, that's that one game.
I need to start hashtagging that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And this other one, I'm in two of them, and the other one I'm the Habsburgs, and I'm having a good old time with that one. I almost won, which is delightful in a game that takes like 10 hours to play. Involves complex diplomacy, and I don't know. It's super good. Anyways, that's it. I just wanted to brag about that. Anyways, you can catch me everywhere, EricVulgaris. So thank you all so much. We'll come back next week for more Pendragons. Hope you all had a nice Easter weekend if that's your thing, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, we'll catch you later.